Let's talk about something I bet a lot of you have felt. You've spent hours learning English grammar, you know the rules, but then you get into a work meeting and suddenly that confidence just evaporates. Today, we're going to dive into how to close that gap between knowing English and actually feeling confident using it professionally. So, does this sound familiar? You've got the theory down, you can pass the tests, but when you're on the spot, maybe giving a presentation or negotiating a deal, that certainty just vanishes. It's a really common feeling, so believe me, you are not alone in this. And that's where we hit on something really important. Real confidence doesn't come from memorizing one more grammar rule from a textbook. Nope, it's built through practice. Active, hands-on practice. That's how all that theory you've learned starts to feel real. Okay, so what can you actually do? Here are 3 concrete things to try. First, role-playing. Grab a colleague and literally act out a meeting. It might feel a bit silly at first, but it builds muscle memory, so the words are just there when you need them. Second, shadowing. This is a cool one. You listen to a native speaker and try to copy their rhythm and flow, almost like singing along to a song. It's not about the words, it's about the music of the language. And third, find a conversation group. This is your chance for low-pressure, real-world practice, probably the fastest way to get comfortable. Now, once you're getting comfortable with the words themselves, we can level up. The next step is all about mastering the music of the language. This, right here, is what really separates someone who speaks English well from someone who sounds truly fluent and professional. So, what goes into sounding natural? Well, it's way more than just pronouncing words correctly. It's about word stress, the difference between a record and to record. It's about intonation, which is like the melody of your voice that shows if you're asking a question or making a statement. And, this is a big one, it's about understanding cultural nuances, like how to be direct and assertive without sounding rude in a professional setting. And here's a fantastic, super practical tip for you. Watch TED Talks. Seriously, those presenters are pros at communicating clearly. Just pick a short clip, listen to a sentence, pause the video, and try to say it exactly the way they did. It's a simple, no-pressure way to work on your own rhythm and flow. Okay, this next part is a special shout-out to all our Portuguese-speaking friends out there, but honestly, these tips are gold for anyone whose first language isn't English. We're going to look at a few common habits that, with just a tiny little tweak, will make your English sound so much more natural. First up, a classic. It's totally logical to translate directly and say, I have 30 years. But in English, we use the verb to be for age. Just switching from I have to I am is such a small change, but wow, it has a huge impact on how natural you sound. Here's another perfect example of something called collocations. It's just a fancy word for words that are basically best friends and always hang out together. In English, you don't give a party, you throw a party. Learning these common pairs is like getting a secret key to fluency. And let's bring it right back to the office. The same idea applies. You wouldn't really say you're going to make a meeting. Instead, you'd say you need to schedule a meeting or maybe arrange a meeting. Using these professional phrases helps you sound polished and totally at home in a business setting. All right, quick grammar spotlight. Don't worry, we'll make this painless. This tense, the present perfect continuous, sounds complicated, but the idea is super simple. You use it for something that started in the past and is still happening now. So when you say, I've been working here since 2020, you're saying you started back then and you're still working here today. It connects the past and the present perfectly. Okay, now let's talk about a real pro-level skill, adjusting your tone. You see, true fluency isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. This is all about knowing when to be formal and when to be informal. It's called choosing the right register. Think about it. Hey team is perfect for a quick, casual chat with your colleagues. But if you're writing an email to a new client, you'd start with something much more formal, like Dear Miss Carter. Being able to switch between these styles without even thinking about it, that's a true sign of a fluent, confident communicator. So you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot to keep in mind. The practice, the pronunciation, the grammar, the tone. It can feel like a lot to juggle on your own. And for many people, that's where having an expert guide can really, really speed things up. The source we're looking at today highlights one such expert, a guy named Nelson Rodrigues. He's been doing this since 2009, and his whole focus is on helping professionals build exactly the kind of confidence we've been talking about. And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? I absolutely love seeing students succeed. When you find a guide who is genuinely passionate and invested in your success, it just changes the whole learning experience. It becomes a partnership. So the bottom line is, if you feel like some personalized guidance could be your next best step, the source suggests that the easiest thing to do is just reach out. Start a conversation with an expert about where you want to go. And that brings us right back to you. Let's forget about some huge, overwhelming plan for a minute. It all starts with one small, manageable step. So my question for you is, what's the one thing you can do this week to move forward? Are you going to try shadowing a TED Talk for 5 minutes? Or maybe practice using schedule a meeting in an email? Your whole journey starts with that first little step. What's yours going to be?